Episode 50. 3 minutes to change. Just as Dario was about to speak, his phone suddenly rang. He glanced at it and walked to the balcony to answer. Jade took the opportunity to find her clothes and then quickly walked to the washroom to change. But when she came out, Dario was holding up another dress and looking at her. "Put it on," Dario said in a commanding tone. Jade held her breath and looked at the dress in Dario's hand. It was an exquisite dress, inlaid with white lace, beautifully cut. It looked so pure and delicate. Dario was also holding a red pleated skirt with a white butterfly knot and princess shoes. The design was fresh and elegant. The dress was simple and natural, yet everyone would have loved it. "Did you buy this?" Jade asked in disbelief. "Of course." "But you don't even know my size." This time, he'd really surprised her. When she finished speaking, Dario came up to her and put his arms around her waist. The corners of his mouth turned upward, making him look exceptionally bewitching. He leaned closer to her ear and said softly, "My hand is the best measuring tape. If you don't believe me, let me try." He touched her waist as he spoke. Jade was frightened and hurriedly stepped back, as her face immediately turned red. "Mr. Foster, please don't keep buying things for me. This really makes me feel bad." Before Jade could finish her sentence, Dario pressed his mouth against hers and pushed her against the wall and kissed. The kiss was even more forceful than their kiss that morning. After kissing for a while, Jade felt her body go limp and almost couldn't stand. Luckily, Dario supported her. "Let go of me, Dario." Dario narrowed his deep eyes and looked at her. He seemed to be unhappy. He hugged her tighter and tighter until Jade was almost unable to breathe. Dario refused to let go. She hit his chest with all her might, but her fists were weak from their kiss. Dario reached out his hand and pinched her delicate chin. He said coldly, "Remember, the two of us are now husband and wife. I am your husband. It is normal for me to buy things for you. If you want to be my little lover, then please do what a little lover should." "What? Don't you want to be my lover?" Jade couldn't help but tremble. She said with fear, "No, I don't want to be." Naturally, she knew what it was to be a lover. "Very good. I'll give you 3 minutes. Change your dress and shoes right away. Otherwise, I'll strip off your clothes and change them for you. Of course, I would prefer doing that." "What? 3 minutes?" Jade stared at him in disbelief. Could he be serious? She watched Dario as he spoke coldly. What he said scared her so much that she rushed to change her dress and shoes. "You still have 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Dario looked at the tightly shut door and a smile appeared in his sharp eyes. She didn't like to spend other people's money any more than she liked people giving her things. Although she was frugal, he had married a good wife. 3 minutes had passed, so Dario knocked on the door. "If you don't come out, I will come in." "Wait a minute, don't. I've changed. I'm coming out." Jade looked at herself in the mirror a little bashfully. It was not easy for her to muster up the courage to go out. She'd never worn a dress like this before. Or rather, she rarely wore dresses like this. "I don't look good in this dress. Don't laugh at me." The dress's size was just right, and the design of the skirt made her legs look longer. At that moment, her face flushed red, and she looked very pleasing. But her eyes were filled with shyness and embarrassment. Even Dario, who was known to be indifferent, was stunned by her lovely appearance. It seemed like he had chosen the right dress. It suited her perfectly. The design of the dress was such that around one shoulder it was covered, while the shoulder that was exposed was even more charming. Dario could not wait to go up and take a bite out of her. Jade saw that he did not speak. She swallowed, bit her lower lip and asked weakly, "Then I don't look good wearing this? Why don't I go change?" Just as she was about to go back, Dario's palm suddenly appeared on her slender white arm. "No need to change, just wear this. It looks very good." "Really?" "Of course." Dario rested against the wall and wrapped her in his arms. They were close to each other, so close that Jade could feel his warm breath on her face. She felt his burning eyes and blushed with a smile. "Why did you ask me to wear this, Dario? I'm going to shoot a movie later." Dario's voice was close to her ear and sounded especially hoarse and low. "I wanted to take you to lunch, but now I want to eat you." He had to admit that his heart was palpitating. "You want to go to lunch? I still have to go for the film, and I'm not in the mood to eat." Speaking of filming, she looked at the time again and realized it was almost past the time Violet had mentioned. All of a sudden, she felt dejected. "Sigh, if I were to go now, I would definitely finish filming, and it would cost $30 less. It's rare to need such a large amount of money to shoot a scene. When Jade said this, she seemed to be blaming him. Dario's mouth twitched. The phone she was using was worth quite a lot. The clothes and shoes she was wearing were worth millions. And now she was lamenting that she would earn $30 less. You really know how to ruin the atmosphere, don't you? Dario, this dress and these shoes are very expensive. Not expensive, $30, Dario said. After talking just then, Dario once again lowered the price as much as he could. Jade could barely accept it this time. Oh, $30. That's not expensive. But it's such high-quality material. Why do I feel that it's worth more than $30? She'd always felt that such a nice dress would cost more than $160. Jade's ability to recognize expensive brands made Dario feel helpless. It was not easy to trick Jade. If she were willing to take money, Mr. Victor Carson would have already given her $800,000 as a gift, and she would have been bribed away a long time ago. There were times when Dario was glad of her gift. All right, let's go out for dinner. Dario held her hand and walked outside. After taking 2 steps, Jade realized that she was not used to high heels at all.